Hi, this is Pritha from Impact, and today with us we have Paramjeet Singh Mehta, Marketing Head Consumer PC and Gaming at Asus India. Hello, sir. Nice to have you here.
Hello, Pritha.
Yeah. So, sir, today we are going to speak about esports and Asus being one of the leading brands in esports and gaming market. So, what made esports an appealing space for your brand?
So I'll tell you a little bit of story. So it started way back in 2006 when these gamers or esports players right now at this stage, they started looking out for devices where they can change the processing speed at their will, and also change the device in a way that they can get more smoother frame rates to have better gaming experience. And we are a technology organization, and we had at that time as well and now as well more than 6,000 R&D engineers with us. And we started working on delivering this requirement to the gamers community. And the first one was the Crosshair motherboard, which was in 2006, and it gave the opportunity to gamers, or let's say developers, to adjust or modify what they require, and not a standard product proposition. And since then, we've been delivering this value to the esports and gaming community, that they can alter processing speeds and utilize the device to a, let's say, next level of maximum. So this is our DNA. So what we are working right now, even right now, for example, we have one device where we have brought this PC computing performance capability, very small handheld device. We call it ROGLI as well. So we keep doing such things and keep delivering to the esports fraternity. And from a marketing angle, if you look at, let's say, this community, they get into a lot of detail, right? And they want to, get into even the minutest detail of, a particular feature, its attributes, right? Even the, let's say, details like what would be the data transfer speed if I use this versus that. So if you look at this community is at, let's say, at a very inner circle of understanding technology. And if we work along with them from a marketing point of view, the esports enthusiasts, then we can deliver this message that Asus uh, is a technology organization, and it works towards enabling the extreme limits of technology which is possible, or let's say which is even not possible. So that is why we are into esports marketing, and also very closely aligned to esports.
So, Asus has been in the esports industry for some time, and esports has also evolved quite a lot in the last few years. So, what are the key trends that you have noticed which has changed, and what are the new key trends that are coming up in the market?
So obviously the ecosystem has evolved. So if you look at, let's say, even if you look at the Indian scenario in the past 4 5 years, we've seen the bigger banners from esports move into the company, from, let's say, team management or esports management. Then from India has been a hub for game development as well, and bigger organizations were already there. And right now there are more than 50 plus game development organizations stationed in India working, because obviously India is a technology hub from an IT point of view. So this is, let's say, the backward integration which is happening right now. And also the front end is, let's say, the access to a lot of data and information is also another point of view which is change the overall understanding of gaming. And because it requires connectivity, as well as it requires a lot of high performing devices as well. And we've also seen, let's say, the other side of the ecosystem, which is at the processor level, or let's say brands like Asus, who are at the hardware level, have also enhanced the game. Right now, if you look at the AI also come in, where we could also have certain technologies where, even if in the game that shadow mechanism, or let's say that reflection is not there, the device and its processing capability is such that it gives that immersive experience to the end user. So end user doesn't have to do anything. The game developer doesn't have to do anything. It's the device that gives the output. So things are changing. And what has also happened is obviously the consumer. So consumer is more closer to the technology now, understands technology, and also has access to technology as well. So if I look at way back in 2018, the gaming overall addressable market here in India was below 100K. And right now it's 1.1 million, which is 11 times. So 11 times in just 5 years. So there is a story to it, which is that more and more consumers are getting into this. And even if you look at, let's say, the 3G, 4G, 5G, and the kind of devices, mobile devices that are accessible to Indians or globally, that has also, enabled a complete change in the way we looked at esports and gaming.
So mostly in esports, if you see the consumers, they are from the millennial and the Gen Z category. So they are the ones who want genuine brand connections. So what does Asus do to, bridge the gap between those consumers and the company?
So millennials, we say as that the lost generation of gamers, LGOG. So this lost generation of gamers, now what they do is that they have access to disposable income. They are at a good level of disposable income. So now they are purchasing these devices. However, they cannot spend too much time on gaming. So we call them lost generation of gamers. At the same time, we have these Gen Zs, those who are buying devices for multiple subjects, their studies as well as gaming as well, which is a primary understanding to them, and also creativity. A lot of creation has also come up as a subject, especially in India. So if I recall one of the campaigns we did, we call it Khelo Ka Pitara. We have this device, ROGLI, handheld mobile PC device in a console format. So in that, we had Ronit Roy as the protagonist from the millennial side as a dad, and we had a young teenager, Gen Z. What was happening in the story was that the Gen Z was saying, "Dad, Dad says, shall I try?" And then he takes him through all the old pictures that how he spent days in cafes, gaming cafes, how he played those games on the handhelds, right? And how was his journey as a millennial in gaming? So he explains that and gives an understanding and affiliation to his son that you are not the first generation that's into gaming. The millennial is also the generation. So we tapped into that sentiment, and also that campaign was a huge success for us. And we are into the second generation of our ROG devices. And right now, it's a hot selling product from our side. And given the newer generations coming up, we see a huge opportunity in this segment.
So what part of your total marketing budget is allocated to just, esports related gaming? If you could give me an estimate.
If I look at esports, right? So there are multiple things that we do in esports, and if we look at how do we look at esports, so our objective is that how closer we get to the esports player or a gamer. So this is the objective. To get this achieved, we need to have competitions, and we need to have competition at our stores as well, in the colleges as well, and even online, or let's say we need to teach or coach people that how do you do esports or professional esports. Though we are only a hardware and a technology company, our objective is to, let's say, give access or provide access to the esports player or gamers. So if you look at the overall understanding, if I look at the ratio of spends, so between 15 to 20% directly, indirectly is spent towards getting closer to the customer. So this is the ratio.
So what are some of the metrics that you use to understand how much popular or how much work, how has a campaign worked well or not? What are the key metrics that you use?
So the biggest one for us is that the number of participants, because most of the activations are where we invite people to join us for a contest for let's say for example ROG Academy. So we invite applications, and out of which normally we receive more than 2,000 applications, and multiple rounds of the drive that we do and the contest we do. Finally, six are selected, and those six are taken to a 6 months regime where they get the right devices, they get the stipends, they get the coaches, they get the mentoring, and they also play on behalf of ROG Academy in different events as well. So the most important metrics is the number of people joining us. So let me give you one of the metrics I have. So one of the things we do is ROG Showdown, which is a event that we do for gamers, a contest, and there are multiple titles in it, right from the most popular ones like CS:GO and Valorant to the niche one, the FIFA and the other ones as well. So in the past, so we started this in the COVID period, right? In the first month of COVID, we started this online, and uh, we have touched more than 50,000 individual players. So I'm not talking about the number of times they have got into different events. I'm just talking about any individual who has participated with us at a event level. So more than 50,000 gamers have connected with us. So our understanding now is, let's say if I go to colleges, then I say how many college gaming events I directly or indirectly participate into, how many gamers I connect with, right? So for example, another thing we started is that we opened our gaming zones for gamers to play free of cost. So just to increase this engagement number. So the idea, the biggest metric we have engagement, and it's a one-on-one engagement with our device, with the gamer, with us. So getting close to the customer is the most important metric. And then there are others which are mostly popular, like reaching these numbers of gamers online, or let's say engaging them on social, or let's say other metrics which are standard.
Yeah. So, what is your USP and how do you plan to stay ahead of the curve from your competitors?
So obviously our USP is that we are a technology company and we are into meaningful innovations. And as I explained the story of the first motherboard coming in, where the clock speeds are adjusted in a way to the extreme. So right now, as we speak today, so this is the era of creators. So to stay ahead of the competition, we are now focused on creator as a community. And if you look at creators, so creators are into a lot of developments. If we say, so these are hardcore creators. We say interior designing, right? So for example, someone who has designed the studio, right? So they must have done on some application, right?
Yeah.
And then there are these graphic designers. There are 3D animations, and India obviously, as per many reports, would be one of the biggest hubs of 3D animation. And many of the Hollywood movies are also designed here in India. And obviously game development or different other for example artificial intelligence and other subjects which are developing and moving forward would also be done on these devices. So our focus is on creators, and as we created this gaming as a segment for the globe, so now we are focusing on creator as a subject, and we have specific devices where you have a dial, a physical dial on the device by which you can control the minute settings of your creation. So we have those, we have multiple screens, we have folded screens, we have devices which can deliver much more than what a normal PC device would do for a creator. So these are the, I think that's how we are, creating a, lead versus our competition here.
So, Paramjeet, I'll leave you with one last question. So, according to you, where do you see the gaming industry in the next maybe 2-3 years, and what is the future of the industry according to you?
Right now, I see that in India, because we are the first screen for us was television, and then the second screen was mobile, right, or smartphone. And even if I look at laptops as a category, right now the penetration is between 10 to 11%. And if I look at the advanced countries, China, US, the penetration is much higher. So right now it's just, all in all, it's like 11, 12 million market. Consumer market is even 5 million. So 5 million is 50 lakh customers, opting for computing devices every year. But it would go to the next level. For example, if I give you example of China, so China has more than 50 million consumer devices. You go to US, it is 70 million, overall computing devices. So that's a big number. And as a developing country, if that's the access, that would, and also the per capita income would also increase. As for many reports, by 2047, we'll be one of the biggest in the world. By that time, in the next 23 years, we see that this would be a complete shift for us, and we'll be driving the trends across the world. Right now, the West drives, or let's say China drives, or other countries drive for us. That time we'll be driving, and in the near term, I see that a lot of uptake, because engineering colleges, or let's say the way we are into technology, and the way we are a little closer to the technology than other countries in the world. So what it gives is that even if I may not have the right device right now, but given the, let's say, disposable income capacity with me, I would certainly get into this. So for brands like us into hardware and technology, there's a huge opportunity here in India. And for gaming community, obviously, when people will have access to more devices, they will certainly have access to a lifestyle change as well. And gaming is a lifestyle business. And if these devices are there, then obviously consumers would also change their lifestyle to more to gaming. So right now, if I look at close to 100 million gamers, it would move to 5 times, 10 times, right? So that's how this will happen here in India.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Paramjeet. It was lovely talking to you.
Same here, Preeta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.